What is up, guys? So here I am with another video of my journey to become a web developer. So it's been a long time, and the reason why it's been so long is because I had to get a new microphone because my last one basically broke. So yeah, and I didn't want to use my cheaper ones. So yeah, so I can't exactly remember where I left off, but I'm going to get into what I've been up to. So I don't think I talked about this, which is the complete JavaScript course 2021, and I started this course. In this course, it's basically an overview of vanilla JavaScript. So it doesn't really get into like frameworks or anything like that. Nothing that's built on top of JavaScript, but just plain old JavaScript. So in this one, we worked on a lot of the basics, like a lot of the like how functions work, how loops work. You know, the basic. I don't know what the word is. Like if you go here, go all the way to the top, he has a lot of practice problems about the fundamentals. So if you see here, basically after every single lecture, he has practice problems to do that you have to complete. Like let's see one right here. Like here, which is one of the first lectures. He has you do a problem so you can reinforce what you just learned. And I think that's pretty good. It helped me learn a lot by doing these. And then another thing he has is he has actual coding challenges where you basically have to combine many of the sections together. Like he may have something like combining loops with arrays, and if you don't know what that is, then just go look it up if you're completely new. But yeah, like in this coding challenge, you basically have a set of tasks you have to do, and you have to combine those tasks together to get an output. And then I believe he has the for these coding challenges, he both gives you this, and he also goes over it in a course itself. And then for these, I believe he has the actual answers right here. So if you do end up getting lost, he does give you the answers so you can see where you got lost at and go back to it to know what you need to focus on in the future. And then we get into some actual projects. And here's one of the projects that we got into. It's basically guess my number game, where you apply JavaScript logic to change the elements of a page. Like for example, let's click this again button. See, and then we click the again button, it changes this, and this is just in an HTML element. I believe it's a paragraph. Like if I click inspect here, and you want to go here, yeah, it's a paragraph. So what JavaScript does is you use certain elements to change other elements. Like if you click this, as you just saw, it changes this. And the same goes if you click, let's put 10 in, check, and this button here also changes this. But what it does is, how the game works is, JavaScript randomly generates a number using the you can go to console to see. It randomly generates a number, and then whatever the number is, it whatever you input here, it determines if it's too high or too low. So you can choose whatever this message is right here. You can choose whatever you want it to be, and then when you actually get to the number, so this still too high. 3, 2. When you actually get to the number, you can also change basically any CSS or HTML element on the page. And in this case, you changing this right here, and you are changing the background color, which is green. All right. Another project we have is it's basically you create a pop-up. So you click here, you can either click this or you can click outside of it, and you can do this for anyone. So it's basically just showing you the different types of things you could do with JavaScript. Like once you actually start working on these projects, you can see that you can do so much with it. Like you can even like create like simple games with it, and that's what I'm going to do in my I'm going to go back to the Space VR website, and I'm going to for the API page or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to create like a simple game for it to add some JavaScript functionality to the page. All right. Next we have is, I remember the last time I left off, I was talking about starting this, which I did end up completing. It's basically a complete introduction to JavaScript for beginners. But the thing I don't really like about this is it's not really hands-on-ish as far as this one goes. This is much more hands-on, and like I said, you have a load of challenge problems and assignments you have to do, so you can keep what you learn inside of your head much easier. And I also completed this, which is Video Studio Code, to learn more about it. And then I started this, but I didn't complete it yet, because in this course he gets into a little bit on algorithms, so I can basically just source it from here. I don't really per se need this one, but it's a good refresher if you want to like get the knowledge from a different source so you can understand it easier or anything like that. And the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. Even though it's from 2019, this is a good book, because this is the latest one, and they're because they usually come out with these every year, but I'm guessing they skipped the 2020 the 2021 because of COVID or whatever. So in this one you have like if you go here, chapter 0, they have a lot of resources on the stuff that's going on in the development area. Like for example, let's see fonts become a thing, and you could click it, you can read it to see what's going on. It basically keeps you up to date to what's going on in the development world. So yeah, but the thing I was most excited about was basically the first beginner chapters, because I think it's a great introduction for someone who knows nothing about web development at all. So if you want to get started on web development, I would advise you to read this book. At least read the first couple chapters. Like for example, they get into the different type of web browsers, and basically the different types of ways you can assess the internet and how web development can play into different softwares. Oh, I like this right here because I basically did something similar to this with what is it called, Trello, where I was basically writing things down, like the most important things. Like for example, when it comes to CSS, you want to make sure you have positioning and what is it called? Like positioning and like I can't remember what this, that's what's called, display, before you focus on more trivial things like animations, at least when it comes to web development as a whole. Because even though animations and stuff, it matters, at least when it comes to user interface, it doesn't, like if your web page isn't designed to look good, no amount of animations it's gonna really matter, at least if it's not structured well. So that's why you want to make sure you have a lot of the basics down, especially when it comes to units. You want to make sure you actually understand units in depth. So this is a lot of good stuff, especially when it comes here when they talk about semantics and SEO, because a lot of people they use a lot of divs, and you can use divs, but when it comes to accessibility, it's not gonna be accessible to everyone. And it was another thing they talk about. So yeah, they just get into basically where you want to start with HTML, and what you should learn about HTML, and CSS, what you should learn, JavaScript. Then they get into frameworks and all this other stuff like Sass, blah blah, CSS frameworks. So yeah, and then also like this, that they linked you to some actual resources you can use to like learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Oh, I like this right here. Here they have the different types of roles. So it's like, because there are different types of front end developers, like it can range from like something like a full stack software developer to like a user interface designer that's more into graphic design, to mobile development. Like, so like you want to make sure you actually understand what these roles are, so you can know what you should be learning, or at least what you should become an expert as, so you can become pretty niched when you're looking for jobs. So I think this is pretty good. And then what was I trying to find? Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I like this right here. But again, this is basically like the type of skills you can be niched in when it comes to front end development, like SEO, unit testing, usability, which is basically like user experience. So yeah, this is a lot that you can digest, look into, to find out which ones you like the most. I can't remember where it was at, what I was looking for. Alright, I'm back. So this is what I was trying to find when it comes to accessibility. Where is it at? Just saw it. So basically you want to make sure that you have basically that what you're building is accessible to everyone on the web, like when it comes to either mobile or having a specific browser like Firefox versus Chrome or Safari, because not all HTML, CSS, and JavaScript elements are accessible to every single browser. So you want to make sure that you check the accessibility sites to see that what you're building is accessible to people, to the broader audiences, especially if you're building like something for like mobile devices, because mobile devices, they don't have as much computer power as computers or other types of devices. So they get into a lot of that. They get into a lot of the general networking stuff and how the internet works. So this is in general, this is a pretty good resource. Like I said, if you just starting off with web development, I would say start here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. In the next video, I will be talking about New Camp, since it starts pretty soon. It starts on the 26th. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will be uploading much more frequently.